All right. Hello. Man, this is actually a really good combo. Your stream is quite laggy. Still laggy. What? Why me? Because I suck. What do you mean? I've never said I'm the best at everything. So what, I'm supposed to be the lead commentator today or what? Fuck it, let's do it. Yeah, see, because your inflated ego can't handle me being the lead commentator, and you're not. You're not. What? I don't mind you being the lead commentator. All right. Which ones did you say were that? Okay. I mean, it doesn't make any sense that I'm the lead commentator because I have no control over the actual like stream. Yeah. But what am I supposed to say at the start? No, I don't know what to say at the start. I don't mind being co-commentator. No. Not tonight. Maybe next week. Yep. Hello, 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 hello.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you may be in the world, and welcome to the W12 Sprint Series, week number 3 of Season 7. It's time for the third week. We're after this race at the halfway point of the season. So we're looking forward to seeing what tonight will bring for us. As you can see in the draw, we've had the MX-5s at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. This is one of the best tracks, in my opinion, in America. One of the tracks that IndyCar races at as well. And oh boy, is this one of the greats. Before we go to any of the racing information and to qualifying coming up shortly, let's go to our calendar for the season. Of course, this week we have round 3, round 4, 5 and 6 to come in the following 3 weeks. The 18th of November will be round 4, the 25th of November round 5, and the 2nd of December on round will be round 6, excuse me. Championship is looking as follows. After last week, Mirko Bortolotti has extended his championship lead in front of Benedict Hitz now. And then Rafael Renhofer had a great week last week in P3. Maximilian Paul in 4th, ahead of Marius Zug in 5th, Hendrik Augustin in 6th, Markus Steffel in 7th, Robert Hega in 8th, Jonas Van in 9th, and Andrea Frasinetti in 10th. Silver positions are as follows in the championship. Stefano Pellegrino still leading the way on 25 points there. Christian Ablasan second on 24. Florian Stadtmann on 20 points. Dennis Richter on 20 together with him in 3rd and 4th respectively. Mario Troma on 18 points in 5th. Philippe Greis 6th. Jan Linz 7th. Lucas Base 8th. Michael Döllinger 9th. Ben Buhnagel in 10th. Let's look at the results we had last week in Server 1. Of course, we drew Zandvoort in the LMP2. And there was rain for the first time ever in the W12 Sprint Series. Andrea Frasinetti took the pole in changing conditions. Then Heat 1 commenced and it was dry and wet weather tires on the same track. Turned out dry weather tires were the best in all the races that we did. Benedict Hitz picked up the victory ahead of Jonas Varna in 2nd, Robert Hega 3rd, Rafael Renhofer 4th, Andrea Frasinetti finishing 5th, taking the last spot in the top 10 for the feature race. Mirko Bortolotti wins the 2nd heat ahead of Maximilian Paul, Marius Zug 3rd, Martin Stadtmann 4th, Jens Fiedler 5th. Consolation race won by Hendrik Augustin and Leon Blum in 2nd. Then we went to the feature race. Rafael Renhofer ahead of Maximilian Paul, and then Mirko Bortolotti rounded off the podium. It looked for a long time for Robert Hega and Marius Zug like they were going to make it on the wet tires. had the better at the start, but those tires dropped off massively towards the end, and even Ferrari and Benedict Hitz were able to overtake them for a top 5. Martin Stadtmann in 8th, Michael Döllinger 9th, Sean Ter 10th, Dennis Richter 11th, Niels Langeveld 12th, Hugo Zasse 13th, Christian Ableser 14th, Leon Blum 15th, Yannick Wannenberg 16th. Qualifying in the silvers, pole taken by Philippe Ugre, and the feature race was won by Michael Döllinger, Dennis Richter in 2nd, Christian Ableser 3rd, Ben Buhnagel 4th, Mario Tromasek or in 5th, and Stefano Pellegrino in 6th. Then we went to server 2. We stayed in the Benelux region. We went to Zolder, about a good 300 kilometers downwards into Belgium. We drew the GTE. It was Jonas Vana who qualified himself on pole positions. Jonas always mighty in GT cars. Then we had the main race. Jonas Vana won it ahead of Mirko Bortolotti in 2nd, Markus Steffel in 3rd. Then Hendrik Augustin 4th, Maximilian Paul 5th, Benedict Hitz 6th, Andrea Frasinetti 7th, Marinko Jordanovski in 8th, Marius Suk 9th, Florian Becker rounding off the top 10. Rafael Renhofer in 11th, Dennis Richter 12th, Jens Fiedler 13th, Sean Ter 14th, Robert Hicker 15th, and Hugo Rob in 16th. Rounding off the points, paying positions in the heat race. Qualifying pole was taken in the silvers by Dennis Richter. Then in Heat 1, the race was won by Dennis Richter from the pole position. Philippe Gren in 2nd, Thomas Kiefer in 3rd, Ben Buhnagel 4th, Mario Trummer in 5th, and Stefano Pellegrino in 6th. Then we went to the reversed grid feature race. That one was won by Robert Heger, a demanding victory, holding off Mirko Bortolotti on pace in 2nd. Then Rafael Renhofer, who had to lose out to Mirko Bortolotti on strategy once again. Then Maximilian Paul in 4th, Jonas Vana in 5th, Jens Fiedler 6th, Niels Langeveld in 7th, Markus Steffel 8th, Florian Becker 9th, Marinko Jordanovski 10th, Lucas Baza 11th, and rounding off the points in the overalls was Leon Blum. Then in the silvers, the feature race, the reverse grid race, won by Lucas Baza, Mario Trummer in 2nd, Christian Ablasser in 3rd, Jan Lins 4th, Dennis Richter, our pole sitter and winner of the heat race. He finished only in 5th in the silver class, and Philippe Ungren in 6th. That's a lot to get through, but that's all that happened last week. Let's head down to the action. My name is Dan Papels, and next to me in the commentary booth, as was the case for all the other 2 weeks, Edwin Forslund. Phew, Edwin, that's a lot to get through, but Mid-Ohio sports car course with the MX-5s should be an exciting one.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really looking forward to seeing the racing tonight. The Mazda MX-5 class always brings very good racing, and this is quite a good track for side-by-side racing as well. A lot of swooping corners, chicanes where you can get the switchback, and yeah, overall just a great flowing track. So I'm really looking forward to see how this pans out.
Now, as always, Edwin will have a one-shot qualifying. We look at the results in the practice, and it's Benedict Hitz taking the fastest lap. Now, we have seen multiple times this season, Edwin, that it isn't necessarily the case that the quickest driver in practice also takes the pole position. So far in W12 series history, it's only happened 12 times in I don't know how many weeks we've done. It must be close to 50 already with the 7 seasons that we have. It's only happened 12 times that the driver first in practice takes the qualifying pole, because obviously that's done with a one-shot qualifying. How difficult is it to nail that one lap?
I mean, you can never get the perfect lap, but I mean, sometimes you can hook the lap up very well. Well, yeah, it's very difficult to get a perfect lap. So once you actually like get a full-on lap together, you get a very nice feeling. But it's not easy to get the perfect corner on every lap, every turn. Like some laps you're gonna be quicker through some corners, and some laps you're gonna be slower through there. So it's just all about making sure you can hook it up as well as you can. So, and also, like you said there before, for example, in the practice, the guy that's been the fastest could have had a massive draft that makes a lot of difference in these cars, so you never know. But
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, no, it's gonna be interesting to see who puts the lap together the best here today.
Yeah, indeed. And I mean, it's an interesting one you mentioned there. Wasn't quite taken into account slipstream. Slipstream in these MX-5s is so much stronger than you actually think it is. Both me and Edwin were part of the Mellons 24 hours this weekend, or the past weekend, and the slipstream in these MX-5s is so extremely strong. Taking you round for a lap then into turn 1, the left-hander here at Mid-Ohio. Turn 1 is the left-hander, and you take it almost flat in these MX-5s. Little lift to get the front turned in, then into a sharp right-hander hairpin, which is turn 2 on the track. Now, in my opinion, like I said at the top of the show, Mid-Ohio, one of the best tracks there is on iRacing. I absolutely adore this track. Also, when IndyCar comes here, it always provides us with good racing. And Mid-Ohio is a track that was built quite a while ago, quite bumpy, quite undulating. And we can see that here when we go through turn 4 and 5, up the hill. Then we drop down the hill into 6, up the hill through 7, then the right-hander of 8 into 9. A beautiful track with a lot of undulation, dropping down the hill. Out of 9 into 10. And then 11, the left-hander. Setting you up nicely for the carousel. Is that an off-track for Benedict Hits? It's for sure not the ideal line through there. 12's, oh, that's all setting up for 13. Making sure 13's flat across the line. Benedict Hits, has he done enough to take pole in this session? The answer is, he hasn't, and he hasn't even set a lap time. Edwin, you said it was important to not take an off track. He has done so, and that's going to hamper him in the race.
Yeah, he's gonna be starting from the back of the field now, so he's gonna have to figure out a strategy here on how aggressive he wants to be to get back up the field. But Ben Hitz is a very fast and capable driver, so I expect him to be up there at towards the end of the first heat.
Now, Rafael Renhofer, who had a strong week last week as well, is currently ahead of Mirko Bortolotti. We have 2 new drivers with us this evening as well. One of them being Gustavo Xavier, returning to the W12 Sprint Series, and Mario Herzog, also one of our new drivers. Now, Mario Herzog is, I think, in the silver class. Yes, he is indeed. And on debut, he's taken a P4 in that class as it stands, Edwin. So far, I would say that with a P4 on the silver class on debut, that's a good debut.
Yeah, for sure. That's a really good debut. And also, he's not going to be starting that far down the field. Like, yeah, P20 first. P21 sounds a lot, but it is quite a big field here, so that's not bad at all. Hats off to him.
Yeah, indeed. We have a field of 30... counting at the moment, 31 drivers. Hugo Rob will start from the back of the field, it looks like. You're a Swedish driver right there, Edwin. Well, not having the qualifying he needs. He is still on a lap, though. Hugo Rob knows what he needs to do now. Needs to put in a good lap. We know he has the speed. He just needs to make it stick on the track. Do not get an off track. And have some luck for once. Had really bad luck last season. Was all the time involved in an incident of some sort. But it seems like this season, especially at Zandvoort and at Zolder, it were unforced errors. And he's not going to get a lap time in here either. Another error to start week number 3 for him, Edwin.
Yeah, that's a shame. Like you said, he has the speed, but yeah, he just made mistakes last week, so his speed didn't really show in the results.
Well then, grid for you, Edwin. Be quick with it.
Yeah, so first we have Rafael Reinhofer, second Hendrik Augustin, Nils Langenveld starting P3. P4 is last week's one of the winners from last week, Robert Higa. Markus Steffel is P5. P6 is Marinko Jordanovski. Jonas Warner in P7. Martin Statman in P8. Then we have Ben Bunagel in P9. Leon Blum P10. P11 Mario Herzog. P12 Mario Tromme. P13 Lucas Base. P14 Benedict Hitz. P15 Hugo Rob. And P16 Davy I'm
Try
sorry.
that one, Evan. Go ahead, it's a Dutch name.
Uwema.
Yeah, not bad. Davy Uwema. Almost
Uwema.
there. Almost there. You're gonna have to practice your Dutch pronunciations for when you come here during Christmas time. But
Yeah, for
they
sure.
could use some work. Also using some work at the front of the field is the starts. Last week our pole sitter 2 times did not have a good start at all. Rafael Renhofer at the green flag here will have a good one. Hendrik Augustin bogging down at the start. Niels Langeveld will take advantage of that. So will Markus Steffel up his inside into turn 1. Hendrik Augustin dropping down the order faster than an elevator at Trump Towers. Robert Hega slots in behind the dropping Hendrik Augustin, then Marinko Jordanovski in P6. Jonas Warner 7th, Martin Statman 8th, Leon Blum 9th, Benedict Hitz in P10. That's how we come out of turn 2. Now we start that long run down the back straight, Edvin. Takes quite a while, especially in these MX-5s, but the slipstream here is so strong. Markus Steffel already having to defend from Hendrik Augustin, who has the bit between his teeth after the start didn't quite go his way around the outside for the Carlar MX-5, and he makes the move stick going into 5 and 6. Gets the move done. Behind that, Markus Steffel under it, or Robert Hega under attack from Marinko Jordanovski. Those two still aren't side by side. Jonas Warner trying to capitalize on them two fighting ahead. Inside for Marinko Jordanovski, has to give him room on the outside, doesn't quite do so. RG Bargy between the two, pushes his way off the track, and Jonas Warner has to slot in behind Edvin.
Yeah, for sure. Like you see, we can already here on lap 1, we just see a lot of action here, and Rafael Renhoff got off well, but Nils Langeveld is not losing him, so we might see an attack for P1 here coming down the long straight. Because I saw on lap 1 where he gained 2 tenths on the long straight. I think it was even 2.5. So do not yes.
Exclude.
Sorry. Yeah, exclude him the attack here.
Oh, he's already looking for it. Different lines from Nils Langeveld compared to Rafael Renhofer. Once more focused on the exit, once more focused on the corner. Seems like Nils Langeveld's way of approaching the corner was the beneficial one. He's all over the back of Renhofer. Are they going to work together? You can bum drafts in these Mazdas really easily. Nils Langeveld pulls alongside the Dutchman. Is going to have to go the long way round into 5. Rafael Renhofer is going to give him the room, the inside for 6 now up the hill, the beneficial line, and he does what Hendrik Augustin did to Markus Steffel a lap ago. The only difference being Nils Langeveld can't complete the move quite yet. He has done so now, Edvin. That's a brilliant move.
Yeah, just like I touched on earlier, like this track you can have side-by-side racing through pretty much every single corner. So yeah, lovely move by Nils Langeveld, but I have a feeling we're going to have a ding-dong battle between the top 4 here for the win tonight.
Now the question is, how much risk, Edvin, are you prepared to take? Because we know that this obviously gives you 12 points in the championship, so it isn't inconsiderable, but the most important thing is setting yourself up well for that feature race. And at the moment, Nils Langeveld taking the pole for the feature race, which would be absolutely ideal. Rafael Renhofer got away well from pole, wasn't quite well enough to drop Nils Langeveld, but you can see what that slipstream is doing. These Mazdas provide such great racing. Nils Langeveld fending off the inside. That's going to allow Hendrik Augustin to have a look around the outside of Rafael Renhofer. He's coming back through the corner. The exit now though for Hendrik Augustin. However, I have a feeling that both of them might be able to attack Niels Langeveld somewhere around this back straight, already putting alongside. Hendrik Augustin is going to bump Rafael Renhofer to try and help him get past and help himself get past. I told you they would do it both. And even Marcus Steffel is having a look around the outside of Niels Langeveld. Niels breaking late, breaking very late. But the inside once again in 6 for Hendrik Augustin. And he's going to do another move in turn 5. Going into turn 6, he gets him done as well. Marcus Steffel looking up the inside of Niels Langeveld as well.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy here. We got the top 5 separated by only 1.5 seconds here, so I don't have any idea who's gonna bring home the P1 trophy here in this first heat tonight. But really interesting battles. But just to touch on, I saw earlier something happened to Lucas Baza. Now something has happened to Uema as well. So 7 seconds behind.
Hartzog on debut, making a mistake. And that almost cost him a position. He's in the top 3 in the silver class at the minute. Has to watch out that he doesn't get overtaken by Jordanovski. He's not anywhere near the top 5, so it wouldn't be too bad for him. But maybe he can lift with Jordanovski if he takes his slipstream. Hugo Hopp, the Swedish driver, right behind Jordanovski, trying to work together with his teammate. We're going to go 3 wide into turn 2. Yes, indeed, we are closing down the gap on the outside as Jordanovski coming across. And Hugo Hopp is going to try and go the long way around here. He isn't going to be quite able to complete that move. Now the question is Jordanovski, who's he going to give slipstream here?
Yeah, I think, to be honest, both of the drivers behind are going to get a pretty powerful slipstream here, because like you said, the Mazda slipstream that you get is just so crazy. Oh, yes, we have Robert Higa looking for a move on Niels Langeveld here. Marcus Steffel right in front, but Robert Higa can't get the move done right now. You can see here also now Jonas Vana is joining in on the action between the top 5 here. Like, the field is so tight right now.
We are on the last lap. We are on the white flag lap going into the last sectors now. We have only 10, 11, 12 and 13 to go. And Rafael Renhofer at the moment is doing enough. Has Hendrik Augustin timed this perfectly through the left-hander of 10 into 11. The right-hander of 11, Hendrik Augustin trying everything he has in his powers, but it's not going to be enough. Rafael Renhofer is going to take pole in the heat, and he's going to take pole in the feature as he wins at Mid-Ohio in the first heat. Hendrik Augustin in second, and Marcus Steffel finishing in third. Niels Langeveld, who looked to have the pace at the start of this race, finishing only a 10th behind Marcus Steffel. Robert Hega dropping off the podium, or dropping off the top 4, but crucially making it through by a 10.5 in front of Jonas Vana into the feature race. If you're Jonas Vana here, that must be a bittersweet P6.
Yeah, it's not fun losing out on the top 5 by 1.5 times. So, but I'm pretty sure he'll make it through in the B race. So.
Here's the grid for the second of the 2 heat races. Mirko Bortolotti lines up on pole alongside Maximilian Paul in second. Hugo Zasse third. Jens Fiedler for Jannik Wonnenberg fifth. Florian Becker sixth. Ben Green in seventh. Marius Zug in eighth. Ninth is Dennis Richter. Stefano Pellegrino 10th. Mikael Döllinger 11th. Christian Ablasa in P12. P13 for Chanté. Gustavo Xavier 14th. And Philippe Grant rounding of the grid in this race. Let's go to the front of the pack. Only Mirko Bortolotti still to grid. Here is Mirko Bortolotti. A good start for our pole sitter Rafael Renhofer. He in the end won that race too. Let's see if Mirko Bortolotti can continue that trick here at Mid-Ohio. The lights are out. We're green flag racing once again. Not the best start from our P2 man. Maximilian Paul loses out to Jens Fiedler and Hugo Zasse. But if we've seen one thing in the previous races, that this isn't too bad of a thing. You're not going to make it easier for yourself, but you're at least making sure that you're in the fight still. Now I love this livery from Maximilian Paul. Oh no, it's not Maximilian Paul racing in that livery, it's Jens Fiedler. Spezi is one of the best tasting drinks in Germany. It's Fanta and Coca-Cola basically mixed together, and oh boy, let me tell you, is that delicious. My girlfriend loves it. She has about a six-pack of them almost every day now, but if she could, she would. But yeah, she loves them, and I do too. They're absolutely amazing. So love that livery. Good to see one out there. There are two choices of Spezi to go with in Germany. And seems like if we look at his car, he is gone with the Polana München one. Clearly supporting one side here, Jens Fiedler. But from Spezi to the race lead, Marco Bortolotti leads the way ahead of Hugo Sasse, then Jens Fiedler in second, Maximilian Paul in fourth, Ben Green fifth, Marius Zug in sixth. There we have a timing tower on the left, Yannick Wonenberg in seventh, Florian Becker eighth, Dennis Richter ninth, Gustavo Xavier on debut in P10. Just settling into the groove of W12 Sprint Series, drove the Porsche GT4, the Cayman GT4 this year in the ADAC GT4 series, GT4 Germany. Mirko Bortolotti, of course, a champion in the DTM series, an Italian being the champion in the DTM, and an Italian car in the Lamborghini together with his team SSR Performance. Hugo Sasse currently chasing down a DTM champion. And if you're Hugo Sasse here, what goes through your head when you see Mirko Bortolotti just only 4/10 ahead of you and up for grabs?
I mean, when you're actually racing, I don't really think you keep in mind of what the other person has accomplished. You're just seeing that he's there for the taking and you want to attack him and get past him to win the race. So, but yeah, no, Hugo Sasse doing a great job here, keeping up with Mirko Bortolotti. Like you said, a DTM champion, so he has showed he has the speed in real life, and he is a 6-time champion in this season, in this series. So he has the speed both in simulation and the IRL. So yeah, no, hats off to Hugo Sasse for being able to keep up with him.
6-time champion is Mirko Bortolotti in the W12 Sprint Series. Will soon equal the amount of World Championships from the greats Michael Schumacher and Lewis Hamilton. And I have a feeling if W12 Sprint Series continues next season, he might be able to surpass the both of them. Meaning that obviously Mirko Bortolotti is the single best driver in the world. Because who doesn't want to win a W12 Sprint Series championship? Jens Fiedler is having to defend for his podium spot here in the second heat race on the two. Maximilian Paul sends his way up the inside of the last corner, makes his way through, and he's now under attack. Ben Green as well. Jens Fiedler about to lose 2 positions here, Edvin.
Yeah, he's just gonna have to try and keep it around on the inside there, but I do think Ben Green has the move done now, and we'll get the slipstream from Maximilian Paul in front. So we're just gonna have to see here if the slipstream is strong enough for him to get back at him.
4 minutes done. 2 to go here, Edvin. I have a feeling we might only get one more lap after this one, and indeed that feeling is correct. One more lap after this one, Edvin. Already getting into final opportunities, final chance, or final opportunities to try and make a pass. Drivers will get desperate here.
Yeah, for sure. Every driver here is gonna probably be taking some risk now to see if they can get into that top 5, like Marius Zug, for example, and Wonenberg. But as it stays right now, it's actually pretty calm here, and Hugo Sasse and Mirko Bortolotti has gotten that gap of 1.3 seconds, so we're not under threat for the victory, I don't think. But Ben Green looks very tasty. I think that P3 looks very tasty from Maximilian Paul right now, coming into the final corner here. Probably gonna have to try to set up the exit here to get a good run, which he seems to have done here. Very good run on Maximilian Paul here, but I don't think the move will be done into turn 1.
He's going to have a look for it on Maximilian Paul. The question is he going to be able to make it stick? The understeer, Maximilian Paul shuts the door on Ben Green. Says, no sir, you're not going through. Gap to the front for Maximilian Paul, 1.4 seconds. Has lost the toe in these Mazdas, and that's going to be crucial coming down the back straight. Sending it in hard is Ben Green, maybe a little bit too hard. That slipstream is now going to have to put him right to the back of Maximilian Paul. The same is going to be true for Hugo Sasse. We're on board with Hugo Sasse now. Mirko Bortolotti He's going to try and defend that P1 with everything he has in him. And that is the DTM Championship, so trust me, the man knows how to defend. The outside though for Hugo Zasse. Is he going to pull this move off the inside for turn 6? He's done it. He's gotten past Mirko Bortolotti. Has to stay ahead now. Mirko's going to send it around the outside of 7. He's going to get the better exit. Hugo Zasse, Mirko Bortolotti, ding-dong battle to the line. Running into the 10-11 complex now. If he's able to carry it up the inside here, Hugo Zasse, he has a good chance, but he quite can't. He can't quite. Bortolotti's back ahead of Hugo Zasse. He's going to have to make an heroic move into 12 now. Oh, it's going to be a little bit too late. Too little, too late for Hugo Zasse. Mirko Bortolotti's going to hang on. He challenged him for it in the MX-5s. But Bortolotti takes P2, will start from the front row. Hugo Zasse takes P4, will start from the second row. And Maximilian Paul will start from row 6 from row 3 on P6, excuse me. Ben Green from row 4 on P8. And Yannick Vonenberg taking the final spot in the feature race here in the heat races. Let's decide the positions 11 to 31. In the consolation race.
Just to jump in there, I think Mario Sug and Fiedler had an incident there because Mario Sug jumped way down the order and Fiedler did not make it into the top 5 there. So, wonder if something contact happened between their battling, maybe.
Oh, there goes our replay. Well, back to live screens, but it was contact indeed. For Jens Fiedler, that Spezi livery, not getting the love that it does deserve. Jonas Warner will start in pole, ahead of Florian Becker, Max Martin Stadtmann, Jens Fiedler, second row, Leon Blum, Dennis Richter, third row, fourth row, Benedict Hitt, Stefano Pellegrino, then 10th row, or 5th row, excuse me, for Mario Trummer, Gustavo Xavier, rounding off the top 10. 6th row for Ben Buurnagel, Christian Ablasa. 7th row for Marinke Jordanovsky, Chante. 8th row for Hugo Rob, Marius Zug. Are we going to the green flag already? Yes, we are.
Green, green, green.
Let's clear this grid off our screen. The race has gotten underway. Jonas Wana starts from pole. Florian Becker finally, Edwin. We're seeing a good start for the drivers starting in P2. Martin Stadtmann this time. Not quite able to make it round. I'm going to keep Jens Fiedler in the picture here. Love that livery still. He's going to get sent around the outside though by Leon Blum, who's going to get the move done on him. Dennis Richter now looking up his inside as well. We're going to go 3 wide into turn 2. It's Jens Fiedler on the outside and he's going to get done by the both of them.
Yeah, like you said.
Oh, contact! That's him down to 13. Benedict Hitz and Leon Blum have gone round and that's a massive crash. And guess who's involved in that one? It's Hugo Rob.
Yeah, he just can't seem to get any luck whatsoever, can he?
Nope, it's a turret season once again for Hugo Rob. Wasn't there in the first round. There is a drop round, obviously, keep that in mind. But, yeah, this is the luck that Hugo Rob has had for the past 1.5 seasons. And it isn't looking to change this evening. He's going to have a lot of work to do in the feature race, starting from close to the back of the field. He's going to go off once again. Just reset that car. Accept your fate, Hugo. Make sure you don't crash anyone out. Hugo's not giving up, though. You have to give him that. He's presenting us with some donuts. Hugo, you're going the wrong way. Watch the rejoin. No one coming behind because he is lost on track. He will continue his way to the pits. Meanwhile, Florian Becker at the front of the field, still ahead of Martin Stadtmann. Dennis Richter third. Ben Buurnagel fourth. Jens Fiedler rounding off the top 5.
Love that SpongeBob car as well.
It
And
looks
Dennis
awesome.
Richter.
I can't hear you. Aye, Captain. I was expecting from you, Edwin, but you didn't quite catch on to the vibe there. Dennis Richter under attack from Ben Buurnagel. He's going to have to go the long way round. No, he does the fake. He pulls to the inside late on. Surprises Dennis Richter. But Dennis Richter is not impressed by it. Continues his merry way. And now, instead of attacking, Ben Buurnagel is under pressure from Jens Fiedler.
Yeah, like you said, Bear, he's under pressure here right now. In the slipstream, we're gonna see if he's gonna try and make that move. Maybe a lunge to the inside here, but I don't really think it's a braking zone where you really go for dive bombs. But no, really well by the two silver cars here to be in the top 5 in this race, I gotta say. Um, but Jens Fiedler just sticking behind at this point. Gonna see if he can set up a move here on Brunagel. I just can't get enough of that SpongeBob car in P3.
I mean,
But,
I can't get enough of the Spitz delivery from Jens Fiedler. Ben Brunagel is seen in his rearview mirror. He's seen that SpongeBob car ahead. Now, these are proper distraction tactics here from Ben Brunagel, or from Dennis Richter up ahead. He is taking the pole position in the silver class for the feature race. Is Dennis Richter at the moment. This is the battle for that pole. Ben Brunagel for the Gazex Junior team will be fighting for it. Jens Fiedler behind them. Florian Becker at the front though. Well, I thought for a second that he was overtaking Martin Stadtmann. I was like, that's not possible because he was ahead just about 2 seconds ago. But Stadtmann is 4 tenths back. He just isn't quite close enough yet to try and make a move. Jens Fiedler has gotten a good exit in the number 4. Might he be able to do something? The difficult thing for Fiedler is that Brunagel has the slipstream of Richter up ahead.
Yeah, he just can't seem to get close enough going on to the long straight here. So, but now he's close back up a bit. Can he pull set up his exit here coming out of turn? I can't even remember which corner. 7 here. But no, he just can't find a way past the silver driver right now. But I'm expecting him to maybe try something here on the last lap because, yeah, he probably wants that top 4, top 3 maybe even, if he can get past the silver car fast enough.
At the end of the day, it's only points for P1 and P2, Florian Becker and Martin Stadtmann. So it's not really worth maybe the risk that you're taking. Jonas Vana, I'm expecting so much more from him for Dirt Esports than what I'm seeing from him at the moment. He is all the way down in P10, lost 9 positions from race started, wasn't able to make it up into the top 10. Mario Troma, boy, is that one livery that takes me back to the good old days. We're on the last lap with Florian Becker still in the lead. Martin Stadtmann in 2nd. SpongeBob Dennis Richter in 3rd. Ben Brunagel in 4th. Jens Fiedler in 5th. Gustavo Xavier in P6. Well, he has taken that position from Stefano Pellegrino, but he is fighting him for it, the Italian. But Gustavo Xavier, the Brazilian, gets the move done. Would have loved to be here on the first week where we had Sao Paulo. But knowing the W12 luck, we'll probably get it one more time at least this season. We've drawn Sao Paulo, the Autodromo José Carlos Paches circuit in Brazil, too many times here at the W12 Sprint Series. It's become an inside joke in the DTM paddock between Maximilian Paul and Mirko Bortolotti. What's also an inside joke for Gustavo Xavier is that he can't keep the car on the track at the moment. Won't be quite happy with that. It's dropped back down to 8. Martin Kurdanovsky has now overtaken him 2, and instead of gaining 1 spot there, Edvin, he's lost 2.
Yeah, just an unfortunate mistake there from him. But yeah, we're seeing Florian Becker here now, who has held off the entire race here from Martin Stadtmann. Made that move, and now he's coming across the line to win here. And Martin Stadtmann P2 and Dennis Richter in P3. Very good job to him. And Sebastian Fiedler does get past finally.
Yeah, Jens Fiedler in the Spitz delivery gets past in the end. And it's good to see that car in the top 5. Hopefully we'll see more of it in the feature race. Marin Jordanovsky finishing 6th, also not too bad for him, up 7 positions in this race. Philippe Augrin up 9 as well. Hugo Rob finishing in 17th, the Swede. Can't catch any luck this season. Has to use the fast repair by the looks of it. At least continued. Is determined to finish this race and will do so on the lead lap. And the reason he's doing so on the lead lap is because he managed to get that car to the pits instead of towing to the pits. So in the end, it was a good thing he continued. Here we go. Oh my lord. Sending it still on the last lap. At the end of the day, you gotta keep pushing because you never know what post-race penalties might get. But a minute 10 to Ablasa looks a bit too far. We'll have a bit of a warm-up. Hey, Hugo Rob does what Hugo Rob does best. And that's a 360 and not quite on purpose. The Kazakh driver crosses the line to round off what's been another torrid race for him. And he won't enjoy that one, and that's exactly what I would have done too. Let's see what he can do in the feature race for us. Warm-up will commence here. Edwin, waiting now for the feature race to get underway. We'll have Rafael Renhofer on the pole alongside Mirko Bortolotti. Arguably, if we look at the championship standings here. Here we go, here's the championship standings. Mirko Bortolotti, Rafael Renhofer is now, after taking pole position already, Mirko Bortolotti's closest rival in the championship. If he could just keep chipping away on those points that Mirko Bortolotti has ahead of him, the better.
Yeah, for sure. The more points he can rack up here and extend his championship lead, the better for him.
So, Stefano Pellegrino leading the way in the silvers before this evening started. But with the results that we've had, Christian Ablasa will go ahead of Stefano Pellegrino. Dennis Richter in P4 is going ahead of Florian Stadtmann. Marius Zug will stay behind Maximilian Paul, because Maximilian Paul's having a good evening so far as well in P4. I'll be interested to see if he might have overtaken even Benedict Hitz going into this feature race, Edwin. One thing's for sure, and that's that he will be pushing for more. Well, we have, I think, about a minute and a bit to go. No, only 20 seconds to go here in the warm-up session. We'll keep looking at Jens Fiedler and the Spezi livery. Absolutely love it. Robert Hega, here he is. In a bit of a boring purple and black livery, but does the job. Mirko Bortolotti finally with a livery this evening. Had trouble with trading paints in the first two opening rounds. So was racing with a purple livery. Coming in ahead of him is the 34 Rafael Renhofer. Let's go to the grid then for the feature race. Let's go through this quickly because we're going to have to. Here it is, Rafael Renhofer and Mirko Bortolotti on the front row. Second row for Hendrik Augustin and Hugo Zasse. Marcus Stefan, Maximilian Paul on the third row. Niels Langeveld and Ben Green on 7th and 8th respectively. Robert Heger 9th, Yannick Wonenberg 10th. Then 11th for Florian Becker, 12th for Martin Stadtmann. Dennis Richter 13th, Jens Fiedler 14th. The 8th row for Ben Buhnagel, Marien Kurdanowski. 9th row for Stefano Pellegrino, Gustavo Xavier. 10th row for Philip Unkrem and Jonas Varna. 21st, Mario Truma, Mario Hartzog in P22 on debut. Let's see what he can do. Marius Zug in P23 debut on P24. P25 for Lucas Baza, 26th. Christian Ablasa. Once again, don't have time for the whole
Green
grid
flag,
because
green
there's
flag.
so many drivers. A good start for Rafael Renhofer. And a good one for Mirko Bortolotti as well. He will be under attack, or he might be under attack from Hendrik Augustin. No, it doesn't look like he will be so far. Hugo Zasse will try and make his way around the outsides of Hendrik Augustin. Can't quite. It's a good start at the front of the field, Edwin. It doesn't look like there's too much calamity going into turn 1.
Yeah, no, it is, like you said, it seems to have gone away cleanly this time around. So, or the starts have actually been very clean through all the races tonight, except for the pile up there in turn 2 in the heat 2. So, but yeah, coming down a long straight here now, and Rafael Reinhofe is got a big enough gap here to the point where he doesn't need to worry about the drivers behind. But Henrik Augustin maybe looking at Mirko Bortolotti. No, he seems to stay behind here. But Hugo Sase under pressure by Marco Steffel here on the inside, coming into turn 6.
I think, Edwin, we are going to see a cracker of a race here. Because we saw how close it was in the heat races with the slipstream of the MX-5 being so strong. If Rafael Reinhofe can open up that gap at the front of the field, that might well set him up for a victory in this race. If Bortolotti and Augustin start fighting, that will open up that gap even further for Rafael Reinhofe. So he will try his best to do that. Hugo Zasse still on the back of Marco Steffel, who himself is trying to close up on Hendrik Augustin in the Kala MX-5. People already coming into pit lane here though, Edwin. Pitting early might not be the call here, because you're going to lose that slipstream.
Yeah, that's very true. I'm wondering why people are boxing this early, because once you lose the slipstreams, you start to lose at least like maybe half a second a lap, so I would say. Because the slipstream and draft in this car is just insane, even on the corner exits. So, yeah, very different strategy. But maybe maybe they know something but we don't. We're just gonna have to wait and see.
Maybe they feel like having clean air is more valuable than having the slipstream, especially in these early stages of the race. Well, we're gonna have to wait and find out. Because Langeveld is dropping back from Hugo Zasse. The first gap over a second in the top 16 is in P11. That's Dennis Richter towards Marinko Jordanowski, and that's how close that gap actually is. So it's not much at all. Hendrik Augustin all over the back of Mirko Bortolotti. Mirko Bortolotti has closed up the gap to Rafael Reinhofe. Beautiful angle on board with the MX-5. Bortolotti over the elevation changes here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course in America in Mid-Ohio. It's struggling a bit, doesn't quite seem to get the front of the car turned in quite as well as the others are able to. Different line from Hendrik Augustin compared to the two at the front. It's 4/10 back, so I don't think he's going to be able to go for a move anytime soon here. If Mirko Bortolotti stays at 2/10 though, he will for sure have a look later on the back straight.
Excuse me for 1 second.
Hendrik Augustin still chasing them down in third, Steffel in fourth. You just can't put a knife edge between these four drivers. There is nothing between them.
Alright, there we go. Sorry, excuse me. But yeah, like you said, Mirko Bortolotti here attacking on Rafael Reinhofe. Henrik Augustin just hanging back, seeing maybe if he can capitalize on them two going side by side, making mistakes. Maybe a little bit of contact, but as it stands, Mirko Bortolotti just keeping behind right now. Henrik Augustin is actually getting closer to Mirko Bortolotti than Bortolotti to Reinhofe, so... But I'm pretty... like you said, this is going to be an absolute banger of a race here, so... I'm expecting a lot of battles here between the top 5.
Now the only question that I'm asking myself here, Edwin, is will they save fuel? And if so, yes, then will that be impacting the racing we'll see here in this first part of the race? If you save fuel, which we know Mirko Bortolotti is so extremely good at, then you're going to have a shorter pit stop, you're going to gain time in the pits, and you're going to be coming out about 2 seconds ahead. That's the easiest way to clear Rafael Reinhofe out of the slipstream. Because you know he physically can't break the toe if you're only about a 10 to 2/10 slower a lap. It's impossible in these cars if you're only that much quicker to break the toe. You're going to have some significant overspeed or some luck that the guy behind makes a massive mistake at some point. But until that isn't the case, you're going to be struggling to make any sort of pass. Marco Bortolotti so far though, Edwin, seems to be bum drafting Renhofer, trying to break away together with Augustin. Hugo Zasse has overtaken Niels Langeveld. Niels Langeveld on the inside, on the left-hand side. They both have a yellow livery, so I was about to say the yellow livery on your screen, but it's the one with the white stripe. That's Niels Langeveld. Hugo Zasse in the all-yellow livery.
Yeah, I'm surprised Hugo Sasse doesn't have more pace here, because he seems to be the faster of between him and Mirko Bortolotti in the first heat. So really surprised by his lack of pace here right now, but maybe he's just taking it a little bit easy, you know, maybe fuel saving a little bit. Because
has set a purple lap here though, Edwin. A 135.35. A car in the background going in, that's Martin Stadtmann, who's made his way into pit lane. He will drop all the way down the order. Once again, someone else who doesn't really value that slipstream or values clean air more. Doesn't miss his pit box. It's going to be a short stop here. Fuel in these Mazdas doesn't go quite as quick as maybe they would have liked. But it sounds like, and it looks like, from the look of things, that a 10-second pit stop is about the average here, Edwin.
yeah, for sure. But he's gonna come out in some clean air now. Hopefully he can still show some pace, or maybe get like the drivers coming up behind him now. Maybe join them, and maybe they can work together to get some lap times in and maybe make the undercut work.
Well, we're gonna see Rafael Renhofer still at the front of the field, the one that's able to save the least amount of fuel if they are saving any. But I do think they are. I don't think Mirko Bortolotti is on the pace that he's showing at the moment, especially not with the toe. I think toe, Edwin, here could gain you a good 6-7 tenths of a second on this track.
Yeah, for sure. It's like I said earlier, it's a minimum of at least half a second per lap in the toe here. So just it's just so strong, even on the exits when it comes to lap time, and just, you know, everything from the exit to the top speed to everything. The draft is just so strong in these cars. You have to have them to really keep up. And once you're out of that, like you see Hugo Sasse, he just can't close that gap up. It's gone up to 3.7 seconds. Or sorry, Ben Green.
And this is why, because Ben Green, Markus Steffel and Hugo Sasse are fighting. Obviously that isn't helping for your time towards P1 either. Not just helping for the gap to Augustin. But it's his fullest right for Hugo Sasse and Ben Green to fight on track. Hugo Sasse in the grey livery, Ben Green in the blue and pink one up ahead. P5 for Ben Green is not a bad place either to be in. When will Mirko Bortolotti go for that move? Because it feels like he's just hanging back and waiting around for his moment to go.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Markus Steffel now. Ooh, Ben Green is going to try it around the outside there, but I don't think he's going to... Ooh, yeah. He does get the better line coming into the next corner, but we're still side by side coming into turn 10. Still side by side. It's just crazy how good racing you can have in these cars.
9.5 minutes done now. We have officially gone over halfway in this race. And it's the 8 of Hugo Sasse still trying to fend off Ben Green. Augustin ahead looks a little bit too far, but Vana, who's now made his way past as well. Bit of damage though on the front right of that Mazda. Let's see the battle in pit lane here. Predictions, Edwin, who's going to be out first? Sasse or Green?
Green. I think Green is going to be out first.
I don't know. This is the best place to overtake. Yeah, he is. There goes Ben Green. Yeah, Sasse even drops a place to Ablasa. And now it's crucial. Absolutely crucial that they're able to keep in that toe. Stay with them. A car with already tires up to temperature coming up to the back of Sasse. That's Jordanowski, who's trying to make his way through. Christian Ablasa up 16. Up 23 though is Leon Blum. Take a bow, Leon. That is a performance and a half. Up 23 positions. Jonas Vana up 16 as well.
Yeah, absolutely crazy good by him. So, but we do expect Jonas Vana to be up there. Like he showed last week, he does have the pace. So, be very weird to see him struggle here. Maybe he'll do better in the next server. So, but yeah, coming up to the final corner here now. Rafael Renov is now behind Mirko Bortolotti.
And
Trying to get
Augustin
that
is coming.
position back.
Augustin has come into the pits for his pit stop. Mirko Bortolotti, as you say, has gotten ahead. Let me see if I can find that overtake. It's happened quite a while ago, to be honest, Edvin, of Mirko Bortolotti getting past, or there isn't any replay of it. That's obviously also an option. But I'm almost halfway through the race right now, and I still can't find a replay saying it involves Mirko Bortolotti. Well then, back to the race lead. Mirko Bortolotti ahead of Rafael Renova. Let's see if Mirko Bortolotti is able to hang on. Was he able to maybe save enough fuel for just one lap? It looks like, yeah, indeed, he is still continuing. He's going to be doing about, yeah, he's going to be doing almost close to 15 minutes of the 18 on this full tank.
Have they maybe managed to fuel save enough so they don't even have to stop?
Yeah, this is this could throw a spanner into the works for all the other drivers. Hugo Rob, who also hasn't pitted yet, is up 23, but he's in 4th. And he's just 9 seconds off this lead. Well, here we go then. Rafael Renova to the inside of Mirko Bortolotti, to the race lead for Rafael Renova. Mirko Bortolotti can't quite answer. Is Mirko Bortolotti maybe using a little bit more fuel than Rafael Renova is? Having to save in different ways, having to save in a not so ideal way for Mirko Bortolotti. We'll never know, we'll have to ask him after.
Yeah, for sure.
But with 4 minutes to go, these guys still yet to pit. Top 4. Rafael Renova, Mirko Bortolotti, Jonas Vana and Hugo Rob still haven't pitted. And if they are able to make it on 0 stops, no they are not. Coming in now, Bortolotti and Renova. The question is though, how much fuel has Bortolotti been able to save?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting now to see which of these two drivers gets out in front. They've been a class of their own so far in this race, so this pit stop could be crucial.
You want to get out ahead. They're right in front of each other in the pits as well. Renova gets off first, will open up the gap. Renova opens up the gap to Mirko Bortolotti to 1.8 seconds, putting him outside the slipstream.
Yeah, Rafael Renov must have been fuel saving a lot there. Actually, it's surprising considering Mirko Bortolotti was in the slipstream for the longer period of time, so. But yeah, Mirko Bortolotti has lost that draft now, so I do think it's going to be difficult for him to get back up into that in only 2.5 minutes.
Here it's Yannick Vonenberg, who's gotten past Marinko Jordanovski, who's found himself in a spin. Oh, gets collected. And then gets pointed the right way again. Rear right though, Edvin, not looking happy.
Absolutely not. But yeah, the closest battle we have on track right now is between P11 and P8. Actually surprised that the gaps are this big between the drivers. But Jonas Vana closing up on Ben Green for P4.
Henrik Augustin also catching up to the front two for P2. Henrik Augustin might not all be out of this either. But Mirko Bortolotti, where we usually see he's so strong, it looks like he's going to lose out to Rafael Renhofer tonight. Question is this white flag lap? Let's investigate drivers that are coming round to the white flag soon. Is there a white flag out somewhere? I can't see it yet. Is there a white flag on the left-hand side?
I can't see one.
Oh, someone's run out of fuel. Someone's run out of fuel.
Oh, that's very unfortunate for Philippe Grand.
Philippe Grand has run out of fuel, it looks like. Here's Jens Fiedler coming across start finish. Soon is Niels Langeveld. White flag out on the left hand side. White flag is out. Rafael Renhofer coming round to collect his victory. It wasn't enough for Mirko Bortolotti to do. Renhofer closes the gap in the championship to Mirko Bortolotti, who finishes second. The Austrian, just a bit too mighty in the MX-5, takes pole, takes the heat win, and takes the feature race victory. And that, ladies and gentlemen, deserves a congratulations from Mirko Bortolotti. Great sportsmanship between the three podium sitters, because it's Henrik Augustin waiting for the two as well. Ben Green finishes off in fourth, and Jonas Vana rounding off the top five. Edvin, a good race, I would say. Victory in the silver is taken by Mario Hartzog on debut.
Yeah, that's absolutely incredible job by him to take the win here on his debut in the silver class. So he needs to be very happy with that.
And I assume he is, especially on a day like this, where the MX-5 racing allows you to be closer to the top. At the end, he did it with about a 1.5 second gap over Stefano Pellegrino. But boy, Hartzog will be delighted to start off his campaign with his silver championship victory. Waiting for only one man still to finish, and that is Niels Langeveld. And he finishes, parks the car immediately. Well, Edvin, feature race is yours.
So the feature results. First is Rafael Renhofer. Second is Mirko Bortolotti. Third, Henrik Augustin. Fourth, Ben Green. Fifth, Jonas Vana. Sixth, Hugo Sasse. Seventh, Yannick Vonenberg. Eighth is Maximilian Paul. Ninth, Robert Hieger. 10, Benedict Hitz. 11th was Marinko Jordanovski. 12th is an amazing debut by Mario Hartzog in the silver class. 13th is Markus Steffel. 14th is Stefano Pellegrino. 15th, Dennis Richter. 16th, Ben Boonagel. 17th, Leon Blum. Mario Sug takes 18th. 19th, Christian Ablaser. 20th, Mario Trumme.
Let me find the button. There we go, because we definitely have more than 20.
Martin Stadtmann is P21. P22 goes to Lucas Baze. 23rd is Jens Fiedler. Niels Langeveld in 24th. 25th, Davy Uema. 26th is Hugo Rob. And 27th is Philippe Augrand. 28th, Chanter. 29th, Florian Becker. 30th, Gustavo Xavier. And P31st is Mikael Durlinger.
Mikael Durlinger. Almost there, Vin. Get in there. It's time to go to the draw for server number 2. We've had an amazing race here at Mid-Ohio. It has provided favorite moments of this first server, Edvin.
Probably the just all the battles into turn 5, 6, and 7. Just absolutely incredible corner complex that. So I can't pick one favorite, but yeah, all around great battles through those corners.
I would agree with that. I think this MX5 has provided for us, and I'm definitely already looking forward to the next time it gets drawn. We're now waiting for a switch to server number 2. As soon as we're in there, we'll go back to live pictures, and we'll be back about 5 minutes left of practice with you with the commentary. back at the W12 Sprint Series, and we've landed in Sebring with the Super Formula. What a track and car combination this is! Sebring, obviously well known for the Sebring 12 hours in iRacing and in the IMSA World Series. But today we're here with the W12 Sprint Series, and we're in the Super Formula, a car that we've driven last season as well. A tyre change is necessary in the pits, so it's mandatory to change your tyres when you do make your pit stop, meaning that we're going to see some pretty interesting strategies there. We are already into qualifying. My name is still Dan, and alongside me is still Edwin Forslund in the commentary booth. Edwin, what are we expecting for the track car combination? Edwin?
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, no, it's a very bumpy track, and these cars don't really enjoy the bumps that much. So it's going to be interesting to see how these drivers handle the different lines and all the different bumps, because you're going to have to find ways to drive around that bump, maybe lifting the throttle when you go over one of them, or take a completely different line. But it's going to be interesting to see how the drivers handle this combination.
Now, we have 6 minutes of qualifying. Once again, a one-shot qualifying. These cars, I would say, though, considerably more tricky to drive just only 2% below the limit to make sure you don't get any off tracks, because they are damn quick. No, Edwin, they aren't.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you.
These cars are damn quick, so it's even more difficult to just drive 2% below the limit to make sure you don't get that off track.
Yeah, for sure. These cars are super quick. It's like the F1 car, but without all the power. So, but they still do step out on you if you push it too far. So, yeah,
on board.
It's gonna be very easy to get an off track here.
On board with Rafael Rinhofer, the man who was trying to close down that gap in the championship towards Mirko Bortolotti. Has 4 races left to do it, but he needs to show up every race. He needs to be there every server and every week. No, even with the drop round, that's not going to be ideal. Keeps it crucially on the track, so he will set the lap time so far, but it looks like pole position for him will already be out of the occasion. Mirko Bortolotti, he's just got on to his first lap now. Let's go on board Mirko Bortolotti, see what he does, our championship leader. Oh, a bit of a slide from Mirko Bortolotti too. Rear tires not quite up to temperature for the DTM champ. We're waiting for the first lap times to come in, using all of the track that he has available to him. Martin Stadtmann has gone purple in sector number 6 of the 7 that we have here. Martin Stadtmann, will he put in a lap time? No, he's coming through to... Yes, he will put in a lap time. I thought he came through to start his flying lap, but he didn't. Martin Stadtmann puts in a 40.3. Niels Langeveld goes to the pole in the 139.626. Was quick in these cars last season as well, and he's proving to be quick once again. Florian Becker makes his way up to P4. Mirko Bortolotti, so far, not setting the timing screens alight whatsoever. Marius Zug across the line soon, with 2 purple sectors. Hendrik Augustin across the line. He takes the pole away from Langeveld. What can Zug do? He's right ahead of Mirko Bortolotti. Marius Zug across the line. What can he do? Can he go to pole? Needs to be the 139.609. He can't. Goes up into 4th. Mirko Bortolotti, without any purple sectors, will go to P2. Only 1,000th of a second behind on Marius Zug. So Marco Bortolotti doing everything he needs to do. Stefano Pellegrino, the other Italian. He makes his way up to the line in a few moments' time. But once again, Marco Bortolotti taking or doing what he needs to do. 1/1000th of a second at the top of the timing sheets at the moment, Edwin.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. 1,000.
Oh, he's come round. He's off. Stefano Pellegrino will not set a lap time. And that's a big one.
Yeah, that's a shame. But yeah, like you said, there, like Henrik Augustin and Mirko Bortolotti, 1,000th of a second between them. It's absolutely crazy. And Nils Langeveld only 17,000 behind that. So
yeah, Marius Souk,
crazy tight in the field.
Marius Souk also 57,000 behind them, Edwin. The top four all within a 10th of a second.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. Down to P16 is still within a second.
Yeah, Robert Hega, the last one to be within a second. Yannick Warnenberg just a few hundreds ahead of him. Then 100th ahead of Yannick Warnenberg is Renhofer with that mistake. Surely cost him about 3-4 tenths of a second. But 9 tenths off the pole position. Rafael Renhofer is going to have his work cut out for him. Quickly then to the grid for this race. Henrik Augustin starts on pole. Mirko Bortolotti on second, or in second, looking out the front row for Gazex. Niels Langeveld in third, ahead of Marius Souk fourth. Benedict Hitz fifth, Jonas Vana sixth. Florian Becker seventh. Maximilian Paul in eighth. Ninth, Chanter. 10th, Markus Steffel. Martin Stadtmann 10th. Marinke Jordanovski 12th. 13th for Rafael Renhofer, Yannick Wonnenberg 14th, Robert Hicka 15th, 16th Gustavo Xavier, 17th is Leon Bloem, Ben Green 18th, Jens Vida 19th, Lucas Baza 20th, 21st, Michael Dürlinger, Mario Trommel 22nd, Dennis Richter 23rd, 24th for Christian Ablasser. Then Stefano Pellegrino 25th, 26th for Hugo Sass, Hugo Rob 27th, Mario Hartzog in 28th after his good debut in the MX-5s. A bit of a more difficult qualifying in the Super Formulas. Ben Buhnagel 29th, Philippe Grant 30th, and 31st, Davy Ouwema. Let's go down to the grid where we are awaiting this race to start. It will be Hendrik Augustin for Karlar on the front row. As you can see in the background, drivers starting in basically a corner, so that's not going to be ideal for them. Hugo Rob is the final one we're waiting on to grid. Quickly, Edwin, I want to hear predictions for the top three.
Mirko Bortolotti, then Henrik Augustin, and then who qualified third again?
Niels Langeveld.
Niels Langeveld in P3.
So Mirko Bortolotti and Henrik Augustin switch. Niels Langeveld stays where he is. We're going to find out in the next 18 minutes. Mirko Bortolotti has already overtaken him. Look at the Gazex boys go! Niels Langeveld also takes Hendrik Augustin at the start. The Karlar driver losing 2 positions from the get-go. Look at the bumps in turn 1. These cars not loving them at all. Around the outside goes Jonas Vana, who's up 3 as well. Contact with Niels Langeveld. Jonas Vana getting just a bit too aggressive, a bit too eager to get past. And that's a massive pile-up in the background.
Yeah, that's absolutely crazy big pile up there, and just so unnecessary by Jonas Vana here on the first lap, because isn't really difficult to overtaking these cars because the slipstream is quite strong. So I don't really understand why he was so aggressive, but that's definitely going to be one for the stewards to take a look at. For sure, and I do think that'll be a post-race penalty, but obviously we won't know until the form is out on the Tuesday or Wednesday after the race, after the evenings. Benedict Hitz, however, has capitalized on that, up to Jonas Vana, up 4 now. No damage, seemingly, on the front wing of that car, so he's fine. Mirko Bortolotti will create at least a 9/10 gap at the front of the field. Jonas Vana, a second back already. It's the push to pass. Hendrik Augustin has gone round. Our pole sitter is off into the wall. Waiting, damaging that rear wing a bit more. And he's all the way down to P15. Not great at all. His livery, that
people will love. It's the Marlboro livery.
Yeah, I'm one of them. I love that livery. Classic Ferrari, early 2000s Ferrari look on that car. One of the best looking cars in F1 history, so definitely a lovely livery.
Now that's one that my girlfriend loves, being a Ferrari fan. This is pure Ferrari history, as you say. Great to see one of those liveries once again out on track. A lot of people making their pit stops as well. Mario Trummer in 10th ahead or behind Mario Herzog, who in the silver class has had a blistering start, up 90 positions, Mario Herzog.
Yeah, he really managed to avoid that pileup. That's absolutely crazy. 19 positions up on the first lap is just crazy. So, yeah, really good job by him. But we saw he performed well in his first race in the Masters as well, taking a victory. So, I'm not really surprised by it. But he's climbing through the silver field right now.
The Lego SF23. The Super Formulas. These cars are close in performance to a Formula 1 car. Obviously, about 6 to 7 seconds off on a track like this, but for any stock car to get close to the Formula 1 cars is an achievement in itself already. There are two different cars that you can choose from, all same spec, just different engines. That is the Hondas. As Jonas Vana is all over the back of Mirko Bortolotti now. He's not getting it for free, Edvin.
Yeah, absolutely not. Jonas Vana has really closed down that gap, and like I said earlier, the slipstream is quite strong. These cars do also have push to pass, so it's going to be about maximizing the places where you use the push to pass and make sure not to use too much of it, because then you won't have enough to maybe defend or attack later on in the race. Also, it uses more fuel, so they need to keep all those things in mind while using it.
It is the Honda and Toyota to come back to the point that I was on earlier that you can choose from. Only difference being the engine supplier. Jonas Vana in the early 2000s Renault livery as well.
I believe that is the 2008 livery.
Yeah, to be more specific, I think this is the special livery they ran for Singapore that year. Of course, not a year that Renault fans want to look back at, but what they do want to look back at is their livery on Jonas Vana's car, overtaking Mirko Bortolotti, going into Sunset Bend. And with 5 minutes done in this race, coming up to minute number 6 of 18, it's Jonas Vana at the front of the field. Jonas Vana, who's had to wait so long once again to take a victory in the W12 Sprint Series. Will tonight be his night, Edvin?
I mean, it sure does look like he has this pace here, so that also, you know, makes it quite difficult to understand, and kind of sad that he got into that incident on lap 1 coming into turn 4 there. So, but yeah, no, he's got a great pace at the moment, and it's just all up to Mirko Bortolotti now to try and keep up with him.
Now, something that we don't know is how many push-to-pass seconds they have left. Let's see if it tells us as soon as we put it up. It says the amount of push-to-pass seconds that they have left. I'm not sure if these are completely accurate, but I think one thing that we can see... No, I don't think they're correct. They're changing all the time, going up and down. But yeah, I was going to say, I think Jonas Vana has used more than Mirko Bortolotti. We'll see later on the race. You'll see the top of the roll bar flash, as it does for Jonas Vana now. Means that he is using push to pass, and Mirko Bortolotti isn't. You can only use a certain amount of seconds of it. As soon as you deactivate, you also have to wait, I think, a minute before you can reactivate it. So there is some strategic stuff involved in it as well. The best is obviously to use it all in one burst.
I do believe it is 200 seconds each driver gets of push to pass.
Yes. 200 seconds for each driver of push to pass. Get this push to pass off the screen because it's clearly not correct. Let's look at the tire compounds that they are on, all on dry tires. But you have to do a mandatory tire change, which is going to affect your pit stop. And I think it's going to make that overcut a little bit more stronger than it already is. Staying out and out of traffic. Because you have to get those tires up to temperature and into the window again. Whereas as soon as you do pit, so I have a feeling that staying out longer here might be beneficial.
Yeah, for sure. In these cars, the tires do take at least a lap to get up to temperature again, and the car is just so slippery on those cold tires, so you have to be so careful on your out lap. So I do think the overcut will be the strongest strategy here, but I might be wrong. We're just gonna have to wait and see between when these two pit, if they pit differently, which one benefits the most.
Yeah, look, he's using push to pass. You can see it. Look at the gap growing on the straight, even with the slipstream. Mirko Bortolotti not getting any closer. Gap staying around the same distance. But you can see the light flashing on Jonas Vana, his car. He's using his push to pass to try and get away from Mirko Bortolotti, try and get him out of his slipstream. Jonas Vana is recharging at the moment. Let's see if this push to pass data has changed. Yes. Yeah. I have a feeling that Jonas Vana has used a lot more push to pass than Mirko Bortolotti has.
My feeling is that Jonas Vana has been trying to use the push to pass to get out of that 1 second gap on Mirko Bortolotti and try and get out of the slipstream, because I do think he has the better pace here. It's just Mirko Bortolotti is just able to stay behind because of the strength of the slipstream at the moment.
So the flashing lights on the roll bar of Jonas Vana indicating that Jonas Vana is on his recharge time. So we can't use it for another minute until it's recharged. Let's put it like that. And as soon as he uses and turns it off again, that will start flashing again to indicate that he's charging again. As soon as it starts flashing quicker, that's when you know he's using it. I have a feeling he might be using some more of it down the back straight here, if it's not still recharging. It looks like it still is. He's going to have to wait another lap at least.
Yeah, but we can see now, crucially, Mirko Bortolotti is out of that 1 second gap, so he doesn't have as effective slipstream anymore. I'm pretty sure he still gets a tiny bit of tow, but yeah, Jonas Vana just seems incredibly quick here, going through the corner where he managed to pull off a massively beautiful overtake on Mirko Bortolotti earlier on in the race.
Looking back in the field, Martin Stadtmann is behind Marius Zug. These are drivers that have already pitted. Rafael Renhofer leading the way of the drivers that have made their pit stop already. Also Rafael Renhofer on his recharge time. Philippe Augrin is out of push to pass seconds. He's at 0. Now I do not exactly know what all these numbers mean. I know that they don't have 800 seconds or 936 seconds of push to pass left. But when it's at 0, I do know one thing, and that's that you have none left already. Now with 8 minutes to go, this is going to be a tough race now for Augrin to get back at Buurnagel for that silver win.
Yeah, those numbers might indicate that it's like you say, they keep going up and down. It's quite difficult to really...
They make no sense to me. But the only thing that makes sense to me is that when you're at 0, you have nothing left.
Yeah, that's the one thing we can also see the flashing light on the rear of that car.
Yeah, Ben Buurnagel now using his push to pass. Leon Blum, after he's made his pit stop, he's together with his Jean Moment Racing teammate. These two, for the moment, not quite working together yet. Leon Blum in 14th, having a look, and gets the pass round by his teammate. Baza was off, I think, in the background there as well. Yes, there he is. Damage to that front wing.
that looked like to me that there was some team orders involved in there, because that move around the outside seemed a little too easy. But now we see Mirko Bortolotti into the pits, and Jonas Vana stayed out. So now it's time to see, is the undercut or the overcut better?
Up into the air goes Mirko Bortolotti. Butchered that name for once. Mirko Bortolotti, after going up in the air, will be put down back onto his tyres, and off he goes. Has to get these tyres into working range now. But watch out for Mirko Bortolotti. As soon as he's got these tyres up the temperature, weaving to get the temperature into them. This is where you can use your push to pass for lap time. And I have a feeling that's exactly what Mirko Bortolotti will do. Get the tyres up the temp. Just push the pass in a straight line to negate that time you lose in overall lap time on colder tyres. Now maybe try and gain something that way on Jonas Vana. Jonas Vana is once again on his recharge time. So he's used another burst of his push to pass. A couple of drivers at 0 now. Ben Buhnagel and Philipp Unkrij, 3rd and 4th in the silver class. In the silver class as well, Mario Trumma in P12. Also 0 seconds of overtake left. Hugo Rob, 0 seconds left. He's in P9 at the minute. But with those 0 seconds, might drop down later on in this race a little bit. We have 5 minutes, a little bit less left in this race. Mirko Bortolotti has made his pit stop, has stayed in 5th. Let's see if Mirko Bortolotti uses his push to pass now coming out of this corner. Or will he wait to try and overtake Jonas Vana with it? He's using it. I told you he was. This is to negate the time he's losing on Jonas Vana, who has gone into pit lane. He will keep using it down this front straight as well, out of this corner. Car tricky to handle with the extra power that he now has available to him. Where is Jonas Vana? Jonas Vana is on the pit exit now. He's lost a lot. But remember, Jonas Vana on cold tires. Mirko Bortolotti on full chase behind him.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy now. We're going to have to see. Jonas Vana is going to have to fend off Mirko Bortolotti.
Oh, Mirko Bortolotti with a massive snap. That car tricky to handle with the push to pass still on. He's using almost all the seconds he has available to him. He's still using push to pass. We're going to see how much he has left, but Jonas Vana seemingly not losing that much time on colder tires.
Yeah, I think Mirko Bortolotti just needs to get close now. Take advantage of the cold tires on Jonas Vana. Like you said, Jonas Vana doesn't seem too slow, but he is a little bit slower because Bortolotti has gotten that gap down into 1 second again. So Mirko Bortolotti just needs to use his temperature in his tires right now for his advantage and try to get close, get into that slipstream again. And as you can see, he's just keeping the overtake on through this entire lap, and he's got 107 seconds left. So he's been saving a lot. I don't even think he's used it a single time before his pit stop.
No, I don't think he has either, but he can't recharge either. He has to keep using it now. So you will use all of it or none of it. This is Mirko Bortolotti's time to make the pass. Jonas Vana, you can see the flashing light up ahead. He has 135 seconds left. Jonas Vana is in the better position here compared to Mirko Bortolotti. I have a feeling Mirko is not going to be able to get this pass done unless he's able to do something within 70 seconds of this race. Oh! And that is his moment. Mistake for Jonas Vana, who goes off the track. And Mirko Bortolotti is passed and through into the lead.
Yeah, that's the mistake you just cannot make when you have someone like Mirko Bortolotti behind you, because now he's going to have a really hard time getting back up behind Mirko Bortolotti, I think. So this might have been the race.
Everyone's on attack mode here. Everyone's on overtake. Even Benedict Hitz has overtake on. Rafael Renhoven doesn't have anything. Oh. That's a car off. My goodness me. Who was that? Oh, well. Hugo Rob is in the pit lane with a struck car again. Let's see what's happened to Hugo Rob. What have you done this time, my friend? Is it going to be on his own? I have a feeling it is. Through the right-hander, gets stuck onto the curb. No, it's car spinning ahead of him. Oh, no, he spins himself.
Yeah, he spun a reaction to the car spinning in front, so Yeah, just unlucky as usual for Hugo Rob.
Back to live pictures, a minute left. Mirko Bortolotti getting exactly what he needs. Rafael Renhofer. Seems like P4's going to be all he's going to get. Overtake on, 30 seconds left. Mirko Bortolotti is out of his overtake. When can Jonas Varner use his? Has a 1.7 second gap to bridge. We're on the white flag lap this time round. He will keep recharging and use it as soon as possible. Jonas Varner trying his absolute hardest. 1.5 second the gap now to Mirko Bortolotti. But it looks like that mistake is going to put him right down the order.
Yeah, Jonas Varner unfortunately lost this race due to that mistake, and yeah, it's just unfortunate, but it happens. These cars are quite difficult to drive, and it's very easy, especially just coming out of the pits for the rear, to just snap out on him. So, but
he has got overtake now. He has got 80 seconds left of it. He's using it all the way to the line. Look at Jonas Varner gaining here. It might not yet be over. There's a long straight left going into Sunset Bend. The exit onto the start-finish straight might be crucial as well, and he knows it. He knows it. Pushing hard, pushing too hard for Jonas Varner. Mirko Bortolotti's going to get this. It's going to be too little too late for Jonas Varner on the straight, using slipstream, using his overtake. Mirko Bortolotti, who's out of it, is going to get it. And he will win the first race here. Definitely not the quickest, but the most consistent. Mirko Bortolotti wins at Sebring.
yeah, absolutely incredible job by Jonas Varner gave up the win by making a tiny mistake, but those mistakes are costly when you have someone like Mirko Bortolotti behind you, so you just can't make them. But really strong finish by all of the drivers here, I think. Especially for a silver car driver and Boonagel, who finishes P6 overall. That's a great result.
Yeah, Ben Boonagel does a good job in the overall championship as well. Leon Blum using his last push to pass. He's got 180 something seconds left. I don't think he even realized he had overtake. Leon Blum wasted all of his overtake. Only able to finish P10 with 180 seconds of overtake left, Edwin.
Yeah, seems like he should have used a bit more of that towards the end, because he did only finish 3 seconds behind Philippe Gauguin, so maybe he could have caught up to him and maybe made the move. But yeah, very strange that.
That is the result for the heat race. We're going to go to a little bit of a warm-up now. That gives us a bit of time to reflect on that race. I think the push to pass, Edwin, adds a lot of extra strategy to this race. And also, Mirko Bortolotti takes the win ahead of Jonas Varner. Even though he was not quickest, he was the most consistent.
Yeah, he was just the more stable driver. He had one little moment, but not too costly. Unfortunately, it was Jonas Varner who made the big error, master slide, which lost him a position. So
that position in the end puts him in P2. Benedict hits in P3. Rafael Renhofer 4th. Florian Becker 5th. Ben Boonagel 6th. Martin Stadtmann 7th. Dennis Richter 8th. Philippe Augrand 9th. And Leon Blum in P10. Then P11 for Maximilian Paul. Christian Ablas 12th. Mario Trummer in P13. 14th for Mario Hartzog. Robert Heger 15th. Lucas Baza 16th. 17th for Niels Langeveld, Jens Friedler 18th, Davide Oma 19th, Stefano Pellegrino 20th. 21st for Hugo Rob, Marius Soek, Yannick Wonenberg, Marcus Steffer, Marie Kjordonowski, Mikael Döllinger, Hendrik Augustin, Hugo Zasse, Gustavo Xavier, Chante, and Ben Green not finishing on the lead lap or 2 laps or more down from the leader. That tells you how difficult this car is, Edwin.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm pretty sure he might have been involved in that massive pile up there in turn 1. Took a lot of cars out of the race completely, so. But, yeah. No, it's going to be interesting to see now with the drive. Especially Jonas Vana and Mirko Bortolotti, who was so fast in the first one. It's going to be interesting to see how they manage to get through all the traffic now in the reverse grid.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Your top 3, I want to say, Edwin, though. Mirko Bortolotti won, that was right. But that was about it. Anything to say for yourself?
Yeah, the 2 other drivers unfortunately let me down here, so quite a shame. But now I know who not to pick again. No, I'm joking, obviously. But yeah, sometimes you get it right, sometimes you get it wrong. At least I was a third right. So, but do we have any predictions here, Dan? Do you think for heat or the race number 2?
I'm going to wait with that until we've had our grids, but I have a feeling, especially if I saw the pileup we had earlier on, yeah, we're going to... It's going to be unpredictable. Mirko Bortolotti is obviously going to do a good job again. Rafael Renhofer at the start from, I think it was P13, did a good job as well. So maybe he will be up on the podium, but you can't bet against Jonas Vana. So I'm going with a Jonas Vana victory. Mirko Bortolotti second and Rafael Renhofer third. There you go. You still have some predictions even before the grid.
Yeah, I'm actually going to agree with that. I was just going to say the same thing, so...
Well, he's sitting on the fence, ladies and gentlemen. What a surprise. Edwin Forslund getting splinters in his bottom because he's sitting on the fence with the prediction. Jens Fiedler first, ahead of Niels Langeveld in second, Lucas Baza third, Robert Heger fourth, Mario Hartzog in fifth, Mario Truma in sixth, Christian Ablasser seventh, Maximilian Paul in P8. Overlay does what it always does. Here we go. P9 for Leon Blum, P10 for Philipp Hugran. Dennis Richter 11th, Mario Stadtmann 12th, Ben Buurnagel 13th, Florian Becker 14th, 15th Rafael Renhofer, Benedict Hitz in 16th. Then, as we get our grid up, Jonas Vana in 17th and Mirko Bortolotti in 18th. The rest is all like they finished in the heat race. Now that I look at this, Jens Fiedler will be quick, so will be Niels Langeveld. Let's see if he can survive. If he does, I think Niels Langeveld has a good shot at this victory. First surviving the start.
Green flag.
We have a green flag in the air. Once again, it's a good one from Niels Langeveld. Has clear track ahead. Pole sitter once again struggling to get off his marks. And so Jens Fiedler already down into P3 coming into the first corner. Drivers behind going wide. Martin Stadtmann. Florian Becker also going wide. Jonas Vana already up into what is at the moment P9.
Yeah, incredible start by Jonas Vana, man. Bortolotti has made quite a shocking start here. He's down to P21, so I wonder what happens to him. Must have bogged down or maybe got boxed in somewhere coming into turn 1. But yeah, Jonas Vana making even more moves now, up to P7.
Jonas Vana has the bit between his teeth, is determined to get back what was his victory before the mistake he made. But that mistake has given him even more motivation, even more drive to go for the victory here in the reversed grid race. Has definitely had a better start than Mirko Bortolotti. He's dropped down to P19. Let's see if he has, yeah, he at least has a clear car or a clean car to work with, but not taking much risk here in the early stages. Might even decide to pit early.
Yeah, yo. Yeah, sorry, I got an important message. Yeah, Jonas Vana getting up into P5 there. We already have some guys pitting here on the first lap. Mario Sug, Becker, Renhofer is already in the pit lane.
So, Mirko Bortolotti opting not to go for an early pit stop. Therefore, he has to make his way past these drivers on the track. Dave Yeomans his first pre. Ahead of that, it's Ben Green trying to make his way past Yannick Vonenberg. Michael Dörlinger involved in a spin there. So, Mirko Bortolotti finally starting to gain some positions. But look at who is in fifth already. Jonas Varna is in first now. After Martin Stadtmann has his spin, that also allows Mirko Bortolotti to go through. But what has happened to Mirko Bortolotti? Here he only comes. Look at the gap already. Incredible rejoin from Martin Stadtmann. Pancake of the week.
Yes.
So
that
far
is,
for me, at least.
Yeah, that's gonna be I think that should be our weekly award, the Pancake of the Week. And I definitely agree with Martin Stadtmann as the biggest nominee for that right now.
Well, there we go then. Niels Langeveld at the front of the field. I said he was quick. I said he had a chance to win if everything went his way. So far, with 3 minutes done in this race, has gotten outside of that slipstream gap. Has not used any push to pass yet. And is in the position he wants to be in, and that is first.
And we have Jonas Varna challenging for P3 right now, and he is up into P3. So only 1.7 seconds off the lead, and has a gap of 9 seconds down to Mirko Bortolotti. So this is just incredible by Jonas Varna. He's going to be really difficult to beat today, I think.
Yeah, he's quick. He's set the fastest lap. It was 8/10 quicker than Niels Langeveld at the front of the field. Now he has used push to pass already. So we can't forget that Benedict Hitz has gone around, and that's P5 gone, or P4 gone for him. Leon Blum takes that position. Mirko Bortolotti, next candidate for a spin. Ben Green into the wall. Watch the rejoin, Ben. Don't rejoin into anyone's path. He doesn't. So many drivers struggling for grip. This car proving to be really, really difficult. Jonas Varna already on the back of Robert Hega. And I mean, you cannot, in any situation, bet against that man.
Absolutely not. Jonas Varna is just absolutely incredible right now, right behind Robert Higa, and he just seems to have the better pace out of all the top three guys here, and has a 5-second gap down to P4. So once he gets past these two guys in front of him right now, I think he's just gonna drive off into the distance.
Now, here he goes, past Robert Hega. He's still on the recharge, so he does that all on pace alone. Next up for him is Niels Langeveld. Jonas Varna, like I said, is still waiting for a victory. Has had to wait. And still, he needs to wait for that victory after the heat race. The feature race, though, Edvin, might be his moment with the pace that he's got at the moment. Has closed that gap within 2-3 corners to Niels Langeveld.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. This man is flying right now on a mission. Redemption for the first heat here. So, yeah, I don't think anyone's going to be beating Jonas Varna today in this feature race.
It's not over yet. Jonas Varna was definitely quicker than Mirko Bortolotti in the last race as well, but made a mistake. And that cost him dearly. He's got to go around the outside of Niels Langeveld. Niels Langeveld using push to pass in defense. Jonas Varna is going to try the cutback on Niels Langeveld. Niels Langeveld playing the team game here. Mirko Bortolotti has made his pit stop. And he's dropped back to fourth of the drivers who have made their pit stop. So, for the moment, Niels Langeveld playing the team game. The question is, will Jonas Varna use push to pass to try and get past him here? He's still on the recharge. He can't.
The slipstream is strong, though. Is he gonna try and move? But he did on Mirko Bortolotti. Maybe cut back underneath here now. He's gonna get the better exit, I think. Coming down over the start-finish line. Coming down into turn one. Is he gonna make it around the outside here? Can break way much later, carry more speed, or is he gonna do the cutback here? No. Niels Langeveld defending brilliantly right now.
Niels Langeveld keeping every inside covered on Niels. Oh, he's gone round! Niels Langeveld has made the mistake. The pressure was too much. Look, there is. And Niels Langeveld was off the track. Did so well to keep Jonas Vana behind. Now Robert Higa might have a shot at coming back at Jonas Vana. But I have a feeling the lion has been unleashed now.
Yeah.
And this will be Max Verstappen-esque performance from Jonas Vana from here on in, I have a feeling.
Yeah, he's just gonna do what Max did perfectly in 2023. Just pull away now and control the race, I think. Because Bortolotti is still about 9 seconds or so behind Jonas Vana if Jonas pits now. Because you lose about 30 seconds in the pit lane here, so... Yeah, I think Jonas Vana has this race fully under control now. He's just gonna be controlling his pace, driving away from Robert Higa.
Well then. Oh, moment here from Robert Higa. He has to make sure he can at least keep P2. He's using his push to pass to try and get back into the slipstream of Jonas Vana. Oh, Jonas Vana with a bit of a moment. Not using push to pass. Saving everything he has for the end, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Jonas Vana is just driving absolutely brilliantly here in the Super Formula around Sebring. And might I say, this is a absolutely lovely track as well. You can race so many cars on here and it doesn't matter. It's still... Every type of discipline is able to race here, and it's just such an underrated track in my opinion. I could just sit here and hot lap for hours. Maybe that's what Jonas Vana has been doing since he's so quick.
Well, we always have to think about the tire stop as well. They have to make their pit stop. And they have to do a tire change at the same time. Those tires have to come up to temperature. We did see that it wasn't quite that big of a problem for Jonas Vana as we thought it was going to be though, Edwin. So Jonas Vana doing everything right. Martin Stadtmann right behind Marinko Jordanowski. This is a GazX party from 12th on downwards. Drivers who still have to make their pit stop. Jonas Vana, Robert Higa, Niels Langeveld, Leon Blum, Benedict Hitz, Henrik Augustin, Gustavo Xavier, Rafael Renhofer and Stefano Pellegrino still have to make their pit stop. Rafael Renhofer, by the way, that was wrong information. He has made his pit stop already. He's the leaders of those who have.
Yeah, and as you can see on the gapper, I think he's a net 3 seconds behind Jonas Vana right now at the moment if Jonas pits on this lap. And he's still gonna be behind Robert Higa, I think, but Langeveld is unfortunately has... Oh, who's that? Massive wreck in the background.
Can you guess?
Is it Hugo Rob?
Well, one thing's for sure, he's out again. I don't think it was Hugo Rob in the wall, because he's 6 laps down already. Let me look. Let me check who it was. Oh, I think it was Stefano Pellegrino. Yes, it was Stefano Pellegrino for the GazX Junior team. With the pressure of the big team behind him, loses it on the exit. Too eager on the throttle, and that's the whole front end of that car completely gone.
Yeah, that's a shame. He was doing very well there up until that point. But yeah,
go ahead, Edwin.
Jonas Vana just slowly eking out that gap to Robert Higa. He's just doing everything that he needs to right now. I think we will see him make a pit stop on this lap. He will have a very nice gap. He will slot in behind Henrik Augustin and in front of Rafael Renhofer. So I think we might expect a pit stop on this lap here. Never mind. He stays out one more lap.
The longer he can stay out, the better it is for his chances. Drivers behind staying out as well. He's just gone purple. 138.27 for Jonas Vana. That's the quickest lap we've seen so far in the whole session. Jonas Varna is on a different level now, is experiencing some traffic. Oh my goodness, that's a lot tighter than Jonas Varna would have liked.
Yeah, that was very tight there, but he got through safely, so he can at least breathe easily again and just get into his rhythm now and just keep on eking out the gap. Mirko Bortolotti is losing time to Jonas Varna right now. He's not really gaining on the drivers in front either, from what I can see, so...
Helmet cam now with Jonas Varna. We're going helmet cam with Hendrik Augustin in the chase of Mirko Bortolotti. You see how tricky it is on the exits. You really have to watch out. So much power in these engines. So easy to spin up these rear tires. They don't provide the best amount of grip. Mirko Bortolotti has just overtaken Hendrik Augustin. And he's going to try and open up that gap now. Mirko Bortolotti though only in 9th. Rafael Renhofer in 6th. So if he's able to negate what he lost in the first race with, well, putting on push to pass now. Now 74 seconds left. Through Sunset Bend, he'll keep that on for the straight. He'll probably deactivate it one more time and then use it later on again. Niels Langeveld is into pit lane. He's making his pit stop. Rafael Renhofer could well cycle through to a net P3 here.
Yeah, it's going to be very tight between him and Robert Higa once Robert Higa makes his pit stop.
Oh no, Maxi, what have you done? Maximilian Paul on the exit, on the curb, around he goes. Manages, crucially though, to keep it at the wall. And, yeah, well, he's done with racing, apparently. Didn't see anything wrong with the car, but maybe Maxi knows something that we don't. Maximilian Paul out of this race, it seems like. Drivers that have been lapped by Jonas Varna is 20th and lower.
He's using push to pass now, so I think this will be his in lap.
I think he's used it already, but he's on the recharge mode now. Robert Higa is on 0. Rafael Renhofer, here he is. You can see Benedict Hitz coming out, hasn't made his pit stop yet. Here's Robert Higa. You can see P5. That's Rafael Renhofer on the track map coming onto the front straight now. There he is in the background, the blue car. Now he's not going to have enough, but he's going to be close. With his tires already up to working temperature. Here is Rafael Renhofer. He could be close to P2 here. He could be close to P2. He's going to go for it up the inside. Rafael Renhofer gets P3. And is on the verge of taking a P2 behind Jonas Varna.
Yeah, just so much more confidence coming into turn 2 on the brakes there, because we have to keep in mind Robert Higa coming out of the pits, much colder tires. He still has to feel the grip in the tires, and he just couldn't be as confident on the brakes as Rafael Renhofer coming into turn 2 there. So beautiful move by Renhofer.
See if Marius Su can get that place back on Robert Higa. This is also a battle, three-way battle between Hendrik Augustin still, Mirko Bortolotti, Florian Becker, and Leon Blum, and Marinko Jordanovski behind that.
think we're gonna see a move into the final corner here, maybe, or Jordanovski. Oh, we have a spin in the background.
Who was it? I couldn't quite catch on. Was it Niels Langeveld, maybe?
Think that could have been Martin Stadtmann.
Rafael Renhofer, by any means, has cycled through to second. And he's also not too far off Jonas Vana, who's just going to bring this victory home.
Yeah, this is going to be the white flag lap, I'm assuming. So, yeah, just brilliant job by Rafael Renhofer to make that undercut work so strongly and just making the moves when he needs to. And also, Jonas Vana, incredible start and just climbing through the field, getting up into the lead before the pit stops even.
Well, go ahead.
Mirko Bortolotti just seems to lack pace this second race, so because he's still in seventh place here and 14 seconds behind the lead, so he's lost a lot of time. Just seems to be lacking pace here in this second one, which I find quite strange because he wasn't that much slower than Jonas Vana in the first one. So
no, he for sure wasn't. So it's a surprise to me too. But it's been a long wait for this man, Jonas Vana. He's had to wait so long for another victory in the W12 Sprint Series. And Jonas Vana, after round 2 of last season in number 6 with the Clio Cups at Fuji, is back to being a race winner at Fuji or at Sebring in the Super Formulas. Fuji last season, round number 2, Surfer 1, Clio Cups at Fuji, was Jonas Vana, his last victory in the W12 Sprint Series. He's back on the top step of the podium. Jonas Vana, take a bow. Rafael Renhofer closes the gap further in the championship to Mirko Bortolotti with that result in the feature race. Mirko Bortolotti is bleeding points to Rafael Renhofer. But Jonas Vana, after last season's win at Fuji in the Clio Cup, finally back to being on the top step of the podium in a W12 Sprint Series race.
yeah, just simply incredible race by Jonas Vana. He's been so quick in the Super Formula here at Sebring, so much deserved, and he's probably going to be a little bit upset that he didn't take the win in the first one, but he still got the win in the second one at least, so he should still be happy, I think.
Yeah, we're awaiting all drivers to cross start finish, and then we'll get the official race result up. Here we go. The race result for the feature race at Sebring. Jonas Vana wins ahead of Rafael Renhofer in P2. Closed that gap to 4 seconds. So Rafael Renhofer also with some good pace in that second race. Marius Zug third. Robert Hicker fourth. Florian Becker fifth. Benedict Hitz in 6th. Mirko Bortolotti in 7th. Hendrik Augustin in 8th. Marinko Jordanovski 9th. And 10th is Leon Blum. 11th is Niels Langeveld, Yannick Wonenberg in 12th, Martin Stadtmann 13th, Ben Buhnagel 14th, Dennis Richter 15th. 16th is Jens Fiedler. Then 17th for Gustavo Xavier. And 18th for Davide Oma. Stefano Pellegrino 19th. Philip Ugran in P20. P21 for Lucas Baza, Christian Ablasser P22, Mario Trummer P23, Mario Hartzog in P24, Maximilian Pault P25, Dürlinger 26, Green 27, Zasse 28, Rob 29, Steffel in 30th. Finishing last will be Sean Tay for this evening. Well then, let's get to our race winner. He has had to wait for so long. Jonas Vana, welcome into the booth. Your last victory was last season in round number 2 in the Clio Cups at Fuji. You've had to wait so long, but you're finally back on the top step of the podium.
Hello. Man, I'm exhausted. That was one hell of a race. It was... I'm tired, man.
You seem to be so quick, especially in that second race. Let's be honest, that first race was yours for the taking. You made that mistake, allowed Mirko past. He capitalized on you having that moment coming out of turn 4. But race 2, you're in a league of your own.
Yeah, to the first race, big apologies against to Niels. I think I touched him slightly at the start T2 because I had an oversteer and then I corrected and hit him on the rear, which caused a big chain reaction. So big apologies to everybody, especially to Niels. Yeah, and then I mean, I can only blame myself there. It's rookie mistake there, but we take it. I mean, if I lose to Mirko, then it's okay. I can lose to him.
Still, we have to ask you. You've been Mirko's closest championship rival for now the past 2 seasons. You're looking to do the same this season and maybe take it one step further?
I really hope. I mean, I know Mirko for 3 seasons or 4 seasons now, and yeah, it's always the same. We always battle, and I don't know how he does it, but he was always coming out of the top step. But I think this year, I try my best to get a new champion into the series here.
All right, Jonas, thank you very much, and congratulations. Go enjoy your victory.
Thanks a lot, boys. Have a good evening.
That was Jonas Warner, our winner in the overall class. And from our winner to the overall class, going to our winner in the silver class, Ben Buhnagel. Welcome into the booth.
Thanks guys.
Good evening, Ben. Tell us all about that second race. You take the victory in the silver class.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still happy to take victory in silver class, but it actually started worse than the last race or the first heat. There was a lot more lucky actually. But this time, yeah, I had a crash in the start, but then I think it put me in a good position to just get clean laps, and then I managed to catch up a bit at least. Yeah.
How's the strategy in these super formulas? Of course, there's a mandatory tire change. You have to get the tires up to temperature as well. What was your opinion on the strategy? What was better, over or undercut?
That's difficult to tell actually. I think it depends how your race goes. I mean, in the first race I stayed out, I think, until the last possible moment because I had no cars in front. So basically I just try to manage my pit stops in a way that I just don't have a car in front and I can just get clean laps. Otherwise you lose too much time actually.
We're looking at the championship now, Ben. Coming into this round, you were P10 in the Silver Championship. You've picked up some good points. You think you could challenge this season for the championship?
Nah, I think I had a pretty rough start, to be honest. I think it's the first time nearly that I scored any points. So yeah, basically in the first rounds I always crashed out or had DNFs. So I think it's a bit difficult to catch up. But we'll see. I mean, there's still a lot of races coming up. So who knows what happens.
All right, Ben. Thank you very much. Congratulations with your victory. Go and enjoy it.
Thanks. Thank you, guys.
That was Ben Buhnagel, our winner in the silver class. Well, Edwin, that's it for this evening. We will be back next week. Let's take one quick look at the calendar. Here we have it. It's round number 4 next week, the 18th of November. Round number 5 on the 25th of November. And the 2nd of December, we finish off season number 7 of the W12 Sprint Series. Thank you all very much once again for watching. We'll be back next week with more racing. Until then, stay safe, and we'll see you there. Goodbye.